Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, and welcome to another winter tournament race. I'm Caleb, and I'm joined in the booth by Forsaken. How you doing, buddy?
Caleb, how's it going today?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited about this match. We have Minh taking on infinitetape. Minh is a runner that I've have some experience hanging out with, doing races with over the years. He's typically comes around during spring tournament time. So it's no surprise to see him here racing and doing well, already 1-0 in the pods, taking on infinitetape in his first live restreamed race. So this is exciting. I hope that we provide some insightful commentary for infinitetape to watch back and pick up some pointers as they go through this seed. And we're also going to talk a little bit about food, because I'm here, and we got to fill the time somehow, right?
Exactly. Now,
So
I will say this: I got Minh's race yesterday.
yeah,
I actually was commentating that he did an amazing job. Like flew through that seat, so I am curious to see how he's going to do today.
yeah,
Do we have any information? Yeah.
he's no slouch when it comes to the rando. We do have some information. You can see kind of the runs making their party here. They are forced the fighter white mage. The fighter is extra fightery today. He's got plus 20 strength and extra 40 HP, but cannot cast magic once he's promoted. So straight up fighter. No night class there. The white mage that we're forced to take has a bonus of 5 luck, can hurt undead, but is unable to wear a ribbon. So a very sort of handcuffed white mage as far as their survivability and Topher goes. The thief that you see on Min's side has 10 extra vitality, can hurt dragons, but starts with a negative 30 HP, so they're going to have about 1 HP when the game gets going. Both of our runners are taking the red mage, who took some notes from the fighter. They got 10% extra hit. They have an extra 40 strength, but they are unable to cast the spell Nuke. The black mage on infinitetape's side is loaded, come with an extra 800 gold pieces, an extra 20 health, but the inability to wear rings, probably because of all the money that they're carrying. And so it's interesting to see a balance here. We have infinitetape running the tried and true fighter rainbow, while Minh is running the double melee red-white. Which one of these parties do you like, Forsaken, and what stands out to you?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like infinitetape's setup. I mean, yeah, you run into a lot of risk with that red mage, but that is a second temper and fast caster. And with a fighter as fightery as he is, it may be worth it. On the other hand, though, I'm also partial to my thief, and Minh is definitely going to have a better chance of getting around and finding where he wants to be quicker.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that in the setup with our restreamer Dark Moon, who was praising the thief in these flags, and I gotta agree with him. In some instances, like, I've never been more happy to have a thief in my party than when I'm trying to run through Marsh Cave at like level 5. But here we go, we're off and running. Go look at this white magic. Heal 2, it's not bad. That's good for the white mage. And Lightning 3 and Temper. So Lightning 3, Temper, that's a great news for Minh as well, because promoted, that thief's going to be another backup temper caster. So we will have 2 temper casters on both screens.
It'll be interesting to see where fast falls.
It will be. If it is Black Mage locked or Black Wizard locked, that would be bad news for Minh, as he buys a handful of swords. Scimitars plus 5, pretty good in the early game. I didn't see us walk in the armor shop to see if there was some cheap chainmail, but Minh already out the gate, running up to Topher. I don't know if Minh's gonna check those boxes. I like checking the boxes, but I also like selling the caster item if I get a good sweeper. But
now, I remember last night that Minh did not check boxes on either side before diving or when he first ran in there.
Oh no! In infinitetape, getting introduced to the randomizer the hard way, got glance imps with Bane. So
we got a chime from the king and a ship from the princess.
Chime in ship, that means we're probably gonna find our
Canary.
Yeah, we got to get that canal, but the we got to see what Bicky's got. The ship's going to at least give us quick routing through the inner sea, so very quick to head over to Provoca. Infinite Tape is going to look at some boxes and be rewarded with a cabin. Black shirt minus Black shirt -2 isn't bad for the Black Wizard once it's promoted. It will roll down and absorb, so it'll only offer like about 20 absorb, but it will still offer ice and time resistance, which is sort of invaluable if you don't find all 3 ribbons. And there's the bad news for our knight, unable to learn that level 2 life 2, but both runners with the red mages will have back-to-back.
Nuke at level 2.
And they're going to have life 2 casters, but Min's going to have to promote in order to have 2 temper casters, 2 nuke casters, where Infinite Tape's just going to be able to run that right away. And he got blown up again by that impact in TOF, so this overworld isn't going to play nicely to our runners here.
That's what I'm seeing there. It is interesting that nuke is now level 2. Like you said, Infinite's going to have that right out the gate. But I mean,
it's balanced, right? Like that's the way these parties are set up. Like Infinite Tape's gonna have it now. Min will have it later in the seed, but also have the advantage of the thief the whole time. So Min, you can see playing with a fun flag there, gets a separate gemstone from Bicky for the Titan, and it is a topaz. That is our ruby.
Now, my question is this, I'm trying to remember. The life 2 in slot 3 there, is that learnable by Red Mage?
Yep. The Red Mage can learn every spell in Provoca. Point, period. As long as they don't have a mouse, because obviously you can't learn nuke. Yeah, the Red Mage only Provoca can learn all 4 slots. So every other shop you gotta like pay attention to the slots and whether it's promoted or not. But Jesus the Frog in chat reminding us that everyone can learn everything in level 2 because level 2 is for everybody. That's why Provoca is a great town to find if you're playing like Town Shuffle or Deep Towns or something.
It's been a while.
Infinite Tape almost walked away from Mickey, and that would have been unfortunate because Titan's Trope is incentivized in this flag set.
Yeah. Looks like Min's running out to see the dwarves real quick.
Yeah, check-in boxes here. I mean, Iron Armor +4 is pretty good. That's basically a gold bracelet +4, which you can see Infinite Tape is found in Provoca. But unlike the 10,000 gold price tag, that Iron Armor is probably only worth like 300 bucks. So it's value, choice value. And we're gonna come back and buy some magic. As Min cleans up some of these overworld encounters, still hasn't seen the grossness that is that imp pack running around. So the quicker he gets away from this northern area where the imp encounters are, the better for him when he doesn't even know it. But,
so here's my thought. Based off of what we know now and the items we found, do you make an ice play or do you go to Marsh?
I go to Marsh every time. Like it was a meme in Spring Tournament several years ago that I would always go to Marsh, but now that we see Warp here at level 3, all the more reason to.
Ooh.
Marsh is more survivable, in my opinion, than Ice Cave at this level, and it's right here. Like, I don't gotta navigate a river system full of potentially gross Karibs and Ochos and Hydras that hit like trucks. So, I do this because we have the ship and we have 3, maybe 4 checks still out there. We have to see the item shop here in Elfland. We have to see the item shop in Crescent Lake. But there's a good chance that Marsh is sitting on the floater and Ice Cave has the canal. And vice versa. Like, that's the way these flags are going to shake out. The canal and ship are going to be in the inner sea, but the floater could be too. And if the minute we find ship and canal and we haven't done Marsh or Ice, it's on the table. Because if we have the ship and canal in hand and we haven't been in Ice Cave could have the key, it could have the loot, it could have the dungeon item that we need to get into. Like right now we still need a cube to get that second orblet for these flags. Because obviously the volcano being free. So it's constant.
That's kind of what happened last time. Yeah. Min ended up being able to find the floater instantly.
Yeah. Got them.
And then...
Are you saying he has good min stinks?
Yes, because he found the floater at Crescent where he's going now. Went back, picked it up, and was like, "Oh." And the other guy, he just kept going and went to ice and did volcano, and then found his floater. So.
Yeah, it's important to check the shops and check all your free-ish incentive locations. I typically don't do Crescent Lake before Marsh, unless my instincts are telling me to go the other way. But here we got Adamant, so that could be anything. That could turn into our canal, but it's a long walk back to Dwarf Cave from Crescent Lake, so I wonder if we'll do an ice dive while we're at it. It's a spooky.
See, because my thought is, yeah, with infinite tapes, he has a nuke caster.
Yeah.
He might be okay going through ice.
He might be.
And if he's got warp, then he can go through really quickly, get the item, and get out of there.
What else our runners could do, and I don't think Min's doing it because he's going the wrong way, or the opposite direction, not the wrong way, but not the way for the path I'm intending. If we went to the volcano has a lot of boxes immediately within reach, and we have warp, and we have houses for sale, so we can get some money. We can go in there, we can take a look at 2 different spike tiles right there on the armory floor. There are 2 better trap treasures on that floor. We could find a X-Cal, we could find a ribbon, we could get a katana if we're Min. There's a number of wonderful things that could be in those boxes. And the Grims have fire to match with their cousin's Bane. This is just gross. Gross overworld, Chanigan. Chanigan, our race monitor who rolled this seed, obviously taking notes from Danny. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
See what else is we're gonna find.
Yeah, I saw hydras with damage poison on the river. So again, why I don't like coming to ice, having to deal with gestures broadly at everything. But Min pivoting back to maybe turning the Adamant, maybe go to Marsh. Infinite Tape also.
It's not too behind, yeah.
It's interesting. Like, I'm fascinated watching these runners go because I feel like the expected play is to take the rivers to do it, but both runners just instinctively just said, "Nah, we'll just walk. We don't need to get in that canal and that canoe for this." It's a silly way to travel anyway. Only 2 light warriors can fit in it. At least that's in the sprite. Alright, Marsh Cave. Let's see if Min checks any of the free boxes on the way down to the incentive location. I like to check all these boxes along the way. They're relatively free. They don't really advance the step counter too much, and I've been rewarded too many times to ever think I'll be punished opening these boxes.
Did you see what happened on Infinite side? Snakes with cremate.
It's just this overworld won't quit for our runners. Infinite Tape taking the boat. Oh, he's gonna run down the incentive. I don't hate this play. More often than not, I've found lazy dwarves are almost always in play. And Min, they're getting reminded of linked chests. He opened the box in that first room that is linked to that lower box. And there's our canal. So this begs the question, what does that Adamant turn into and what is in Ice Cave? Because neither of them are going to be the canal, and they could be the required loot and key.
Be herb. Oh, Rod.
Rod, that's
yeah, we're actually to our first dungeon. Well,
that's great news. Yeah,
now.
We have access to Earth. We have access to Volcano. We just need loot and key. And you would hate to see both of these runners fade ice. Ice have the key that leads to the Canaria locked incentive loot.
Right. Because I mean, there's still a ribbon in play and a Vorpal?
And a cube, and an Oxyale, and a tail, and a floater. There's still a lot out there. There's still all the fetch quests other than the Adamant. So, a lot left to discover as Min is going to get in his boat and probably, I would imagine, head towards Melmond after turning in that Adamant. And I wonder if we'll see an Earth play.
Probably a Titan play.
In play. Yeah, so we're gonna go to. I'm imagining we're gonna get the Adamant. We're gonna turn that and get the Rod, and I wonder if that will inform our Melmon visit? Like, are we going to just do Titan and Sarda, or are we also going to fold in an Earth dive? Because we kind of have the tools to do it. Lich doesn't require a whole lot of HP, provided his script isn't too gross, but you know, we got Nuke, we got... Oh, he doesn't have Nuke. That's right, he's got Fade. Right? They got Fade, right?
Yeah.
Seed bleed isn't real, folks. Don't believe the hype. I just have no short-term memory when it comes to FFR sometimes. Run too many seeds for it to ever, like, latch in there and stay. But as infinite tape...
It'll be interesting. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, because Men's going to be able to go do Titan, Sarda, and then do Earth, and it's going to knock quite a bit off of his list. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It'll be curious to see if he actually sticks around and does Earth Cave proper. Like, I think Titans and Sarda will inform that decision if we find a tail here or a floater in one of these two locations. Yeah. And so that we've seen the Grimps with Fire 2, we've seen the Imps with Bane, we've seen the Imps or Grimps, one of them also has Glance. The Cobras have Cremate. It's a bad look all around on that overworld right now. So the quicker we can get off the ground, the better. Oh, and Arachnid's
opening up his boxes. And he's got TNT. Back to see the dwarves.
Dynamite.
So here's my question for you. Based off of these flag sets, do you do the 2 easiest orbs, or do you try and do one of the harder orbs to get a better walking grind?
I think it depends. And that's like such a cop-out answer, but it is my experience with these flags in the 50 or so that I've ran, is that it always depends. Like, if I'm in the area, because right now we don't have access to sky or sea, so I like to deal with what's in front of me. So right now we have Rod, we have Volcano. That's what's in front of me. That is the path to victory. If along the way, doing like these Sarda, this TNT check, another path develops, like the cube here, it's now Sky's in play, but Sky for me is only in play if I have the floater. I'm not sailing to Sky. It just doesn't feel good unless, like, unless, again, asterisk, unless the encounter table sets up like a grind off the hard reset, and we find, you know, like, if I'm in need of a grind and I'm desperate for XP, like another Spike Tiles and Volcano or Marsh or Ice have informed where I can get levels, then I'll begrudgingly check the desert. So, but here comes Infinite Tape onto the Melmon continent. Going to get all the information that Min just had in addition to checking level 5 magic. This is new information. There's Fade. Fade at level 5. White Mage locked. Cure 4 for promotion for the Red Mage, and both White and Red can learn Exit. And Black Magic exists. Like, Zap and Lock are fine, but I'm not wasting money on them. The value's not there on these flags. In a more sort of like rank low sort of flag set where we need all the tools we can get and we need a couple Hail Mary casts, I'll pick those up. But alright. Min gonna dock on the inner sea, so I wonder if we're gonna go to ice. Or if he's just hoping it's floater and he can just cut across the inner sea.
Yeah. Cube lets you get from Mirage into Sky.
That is correct.
So you need the chimes in order to get into Mirage, and then once you're in there, you can use the cube to go up into Sky and actually fight.
Yep.
Tiamat.
So TNT turns to tail. So this is what I'm talking about. We keep following the breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs now are leading us to a dragon in the middle of the sea, and we're gonna get promoted for doing it.
It's an incentive chest.
And the incentive chest, and if you're new to the randomizer, if you've been away for a while, you're going to be surprised when we walk into Bahamut's room because it's a little bit bigger. There's some stuff moved around. We've rearranged the place. We've made room for all the boxes in Cardia to now be in there, and it's a fun little flag called Bahamut's Horde, And Min isn't going there. Min, where are you going, bro? There it's wrong islands. Min, turn around. Go back up. Other way.
Are you
But all the
Bahamut called 2 dragons in a truck?
Alright, so Min heading down to Bahamut, going to get promoted. It's about that time of year. It's the beginning of the year. It's always a good time to talk to your supervisors about your performance evaluation, see how you're doing. And if you're lucky, you might get promoted. Min was lucky.
This will unlock him his nuke and temper.
There is infinitetape's cube, as Bahamut's hordes turn out to be kind of Bahamut's bust. And there's our Oxio, so that we have full dungeon access. The world is our oyster, and we can go wherever we want. This is the sad. I mean, we're in a recession. It should also impact Bahamut, I suppose. Economy's down all around. We got wood sticks, helmets. It's just bad look. Bahamut's like, it's the best I got.
Pocket change in the couch.
Yeah, it's like Bahamut's thrift shop. Pledgemono asking a question if we found a vendor item. We haven't. So Min making a heads up play here, checking our last 2 vendors that we have access to in the caravan and on-rack. And I would imagine folding in the waterfall here as well.
Now, question. Something I never actually think I've ever tried. Can you walk to the caravan, or do you have to use the floater to get there?
No, you can walk there as long as you have the canoe. And with these flags, you get the free canoe. So you'll see most runners might like pop up and get to like the little corner of the river, save, and then sail west and then walk up through the desert. And then if it doesn't have it, just reset back to the initial fork. But Min's going to check caravan first, or on-rack first.
Yeah, it's just been one of those things that every seat I've ever played, we've always had the floater by the time I've gotten there.
Yeah, and it's great because with the floater, you can just land right on the caravan and just mess up that whole guy's operation. So infinitetape catching up, closing ground here. Only a Bahamut check is really separating our runners now. So infinitetape cleaned up the pathing a little bit from what Min did, and maybe it might just be more effective sailing. But infinitetape closing the gap here a little bit. Gonna get the bummer summer news that Bahamut just Bahamut. There's a pun there. I'm just not clever enough to find it. Where's Phoenix at? You'll find it.
The heartbreaker is going to be if they do all of these and they check everything and they avoid ice, and ice ends up being something that's needed.
We need key and loot. So my doomsday scenario of key and ice leading to loot is on the table, and because we still have crystal, we have herb, and like those would be the things that from ice that would lead us to a floaterless key and loot. But infinitetape, where are you going? I'm always fascinated by watching new runners play the game because they approach it with like new eyes, like a cat looking around the world with like new eyes, just constantly blinking, doing different things. And sometimes the pathing is unexpected, but we're going into ordeals. I thought for a second we were going to go to ice and we're going to do something incredibly cheeky, or possibly back to Earth Cave and just light that orb so it feels like we're doing something, because there can be that panic mode that sets in when you're in a live one-on-one race. Like, it's already been 20 minutes. What have I got to show for it? Like, I'm promoted. Cool. Like, I need something more tangible. I need an orblet. I need a loot. I need a key. And going into one of these places.
I think you made the right play here. By hitting ordeals.
Yeah, it's
given his options. So.
Yeah, chat pointing out that he didn't buy houses, which, it's one of those things like you kind of forget about when you're in the zone and you're new. But I definitely think in the future he won't. But we have warp charges, gonna make good work here. It looked like the zombie D's bounced Min out of the waterfall. And our levels are even about the same for both runners. Both runners just hit level 10. And Infinite Tape, do you have warp, bro? You don't gotta do this. You don't have to do this.
Gonna say.
Wow. Man. Pillar Maze, it's one of those things you hate it and you love it at the same time. Like, it's fun to go through, especially like when you just instinctively just like, I'm doing it, I'm just guessing the 50-50s and that 25% chance I'm guessing it right every time. But when you get to that last 50-50 and you're like, I got it, it's gonna be top, and you go into top and it sends you back to the start and you're like, I don't have warp charges.
The worst one is when the last room is the one with the 4 pillars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's never any of the first 3. It's always the last one, and you're like, all right, I'll check my lucky one. Nope, not that one.
Yeah.
What is your
what is your lucky pillar in the 4 pillar room?
The second one, the one right underneath.
See, my lucky one's just the third one. I call it my big brain pillar. The little one that Minh just went through, or Infinite just went through. Your lucky pillar, I call that the it's like the backup pillar. Like that's the big brain pillar is the backup, and then the first pillar I call the small brain pillar because like I should have just gone to the first one. That's what everybody does. But it's my small brain pillar. So slab from the robot isn't good news for Minh because we can't do anything. Maybe.
And he'd have to swim all the way back over there to get it translated too.
Yeah, unless we get, I mean, we're going to get floater before we can turn in this lab, so we can always just fly to Melmund, but it's, where is it? Is it an ice? Is it for sale in the caravan that we might walk away from? That we're going to walk away from?
Nuke and everything. Do you go back and get your spells you need, or do you
I try to wait.
I
try to wait because I want to get them in Lefane, just so I can just go door to door to door and just go like speed shopping. But hey, Infinite Tape's through. Okay, so Infinite Tape gonna get your deals instead of it. Looks like Minh is taking the scenic route to Ice Cave. And I think what we're seeing a little bit on Minh's side is a little bit of nerves and that sort of like shaking head back and forth panic. Because we want to go to Ice Cave. That's why we're going this direction. But, ooh, buddy, it's fun watching these.
I have not seen a good grind time.
The Zombie D's in Waterfall, but I didn't see what happened. And we're going to the Inner Sea for Minh. Where are we going, Minh?
It's going to ice, or it's going for spells.
It's interesting routing to get the ice through the Inner Sea when you can just dock on the intended like vanilla dock. And there's our key. And I think Minh is experiencing a little bit of tilt here. Just you saw that sort of like indecision wobble off of the dock here at Canaria. Pickles and Beer pointing out it might be damage poison on the Zombie D, so good call there. Gersharks, if they didn't have a script and they didn't have a lot of HP, could be value, but oh yeah, we don't have any spells. We don't have any spells on Infinite Tape. Yeah, yeah, these Gersharks are big and they got damage poison. We gotta get out of here. Time to run. Time to run. That is not run button. Please, okay. Please, Infinite Tape. Kill this shark. No. Rip. Get those F's in chat for Infinite Tapes or deal streams because we want that key. That key is important. As Minh shores up his gear, putting on Silver Knife. I don't think Silver Knife's better than Scimitar. I hope he doesn't think that icon is the Silver Sword, because there will be disappointment when we swing that for the first time. So Infinite Tape going to go back through. Knows better than to try to take the Gersharks and just to hopefully fight and run. Like get and just take the fight because you got to. We don't have exit, and then just run away as fast as possible.
The one good thing is he knows the right path to get through.
Yeah, and you called this a 4-pillar seed. All right, so Minh shopping. infinitetape heading
You're
back
gonna get
towards
the slab.
Fiends. Yep. Translate the slab, I guess, while we're here. And then where are we going, man? Are we gonna do Earth? As waters have
to Earth,
cremated.
there's something to come down. Yep.
Yeah. So again, that might just be that I need to get my feet underneath me. So, and get an orb lit. And I mean, that fighter or that knight with the strength bonus is making that silver dagger work. But it's a weapon. Probably would have kept that scimitar on him.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't really found anything game changer yet, or even
No.
game.
No.
So, and at this point, I'd be open for a coral sword at least.
Yeah. Anything sort of like middle tier can work, but infinitetape is through the Gersharks and out with his key. So that's our first major piece of information for the end game here. No floater, or loot, but we got a key. Interesting, he's sailing up. I would sail south and dock at the Matoya River, so I don't have to like navigate through the inner sea. But you know, key could turn into herb, and then I'd look like a fool. So.
Well, the other thing too, he's got 4 checks now.
Yeah.
Well, 1 check and then 2 other places he can go for chests that don't require much out of him.
Look at Minh opening boxes in Earth. So the first room that he went into doesn't have a better trap treasure, but this lower room does. The centermost box in this room, so the lower left chest is considered better trap treasure, and that is activated in these flags. So we could see something nice here. Could see Katana, could see Excal, could see an Opal -5 bracer. Flame -3 shield. It's fine. And it's bottle. Okay.
A bottle.
So floater is in the ice cave.
Knew it was going to be something useful.
And the worst thing about that for both of these runners is that neither went there, but both will assume that their opponent did and feel even more panicked when they because now we have confirmation that this is a floater locked seed because there's no other place to get the loot.
But the thing is this, Minh is trying to remember what he's missed.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even done ordeals yet.
Yeah.
And then we got infinitetape who's got this stuff, and we don't know if he knows ice is where his next spot is or what.
Pickles and Beer.
Both have seen,
Yeah, Pickles and Beer and Chaz brought up a good point. We haven't checked the caravan.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that little wrinkle, and if that's what Minh missed, if that's where our loot is for sale, and Ice has our floater, because Ice could be the loot. It could be the Vorpal 5, you know, and the floater's just hanging out for sale. Pro Ring up there in the Asher chest is good to find. Yeah, I don't think we've seen them for sale yet, but floater, loot, fetch quest item, crystal, herb, crown could be there for sale as well, which could turn into anything. We still have an incentive ribbon out there. We have an incentive Vorpal, an infinitetape. Realize that Earth is the place to be because we got vanilla spike tiles on the Earth tile. Man, Thor hammer -1. Okay, fine. No one's got improved Thor, but as our runners enter one of my favorite dungeons, it's a good time, I think, as any to talk about what's most important in life, Forsaken. And prior to the race, I asked both of our runners, "Oh, Bane +3. That could be an in-game weapon. Can be. It doesn't. It shouldn't be, but it can be." I asked.
He needs the lucky attitude, and he might get it.
Yeah, I mean, Bane Sword in a dream is sometimes all you need. Don't let your memes be dreams. Use that Bane Sword. As a old runner back in the day, Hyro fellas used to call it the game clincher. Because too many times in the past we've seen people just throw that out there on a Hail Mary on Chaos, and Poison smoke.
Hey, that's what I did in the beginning quite a lot, and Fizzle used to make fun of me. It's like you just can't always walk in somewhere with a sun sword and pray that for a miracle. Sometimes you have to look for something better.
Sunsword can get it done though. Sunsword with enough tempers. I mean anything. I mean I think spells that beat us like a challenge to like a falchion. Enough tempers will do it. And Infinite Tape's gonna check the first box in Earth. I never see anybody go in this room in these flags. That's exciting for me. I know I was gonna talk about food, but these guys are doing exciting stuff and I'm getting distracted.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. Food is very important too.
And Min's gonna check these spike tiles here. I think he's gonna get bad news that he's gonna walk on the same spike tile here. And it's gonna be that mummy pack again. Oh no, we're not checking it. Interesting. There are 2 spike tiles in this room. You can hit one between those boxes and you can hit one from the ground on the bottom box to the right of it. So I am distressed by the lack of gear on Infinite Tape's side. Like, I know we're not opening a lot of boxes and Min just did like a resupply, but I would love to see some gear, like, because we got a lot of Naked Light Warriors and those guys are very susceptible to anything. But
depending on where he decides to go after this, you know.
Yeah.
There's squishy and then there's too squishy.
Yeah. We have offense. And quote unquote offense. We don't have melee offense, but we've got spell offense. And there's level 15, so there's charges for that ninja on nuke once we use a house. So there is a black belt behind Lich.
This speed bump.
We haven't found a viable grind, but we found a black belt, which is, you know, rare. And these black belts don't have a malice, so. Alright, Thorhammer comes out.
Did you change at this point?
Maybe. If we're not really feeling it. Bane's not gonna really work. We're better swinging that Bane sword, men. Lich will resist the stone poison element, so we want to be dumping tempers into that fighter and swinging that Bane sword. Because without X for that Bane isn't going to land.
Well, look, here's an infinite strategy over here. He has a white mage. He knows life too. Why is the fighter dead?
Maybe he's going for a 3-man grind. I don't know, or like 3-man walking XP gonna scuff the top boxes. I mean, that's fine. All we found up there was really like a coral sword. But if we're going the black belt, Min is through. We have an orblet, and if we're not gonna, why 3-man grind on the, maybe we're out of life 2 charges. I didn't see how many spell casts that mage has, but we need to heal because these Grimps are gross, and this isn't going to be good. So that's unfortunate for Infinite Tape. This is the resource management part of the game, where we need to figure out where we can go with what we have. And right now, Earth Cave is not it for Infinite Tape, and he's leaving as Min does his shopping.
Smart play for Infinite. I mean,
yeah, pivot, go to Ice Cave. Or that's where Min's headed.
Gives you
Ice
chance
Cave.
to stop. Yeah, it gives you a chance to stop at 2 different cities and possibly pick up equipment, armor.
Oh, are we going to Waterfall and Oxyale and maybe checking the vendor? Interesting. So mid-docking at the Crescent Lake dock here and going to shore up more equipment and spells, maybe? Resupply heal pots. Yeah, heads up. As Infinite Tape docking at Onrak, this could be a quote-unquote game changer. Want to go to water? Oh, maybe checking shops. Checking shops. Okay. Please don't forget the caravan exists. Fine houses. Love to see it. I'm a homeowner. I've talked to Fake Bicky, aka Ricky. It's Bicky's brother, Ricky. Harm 3. I like Harm 3 in these flags, not at level 7 though. Unless we got like improved MP. Harm 3 is like Fade Junior. And Harm 4 is just Fade that never crits in my mind. Unless it's undead. Alright, so Min gonna get our first look here in the volcano, going right to the armory, as infinitetape's gonna go through the sadness of Waterfall. Claw 4, a little bit of money. Ice plus 4 shield. That's pretty good. We got a ninja that can wear it. And yeah. Alright, check the spike
Didn't
tile.
equip the shield to the ninja.
I think you put it on the fighter, which is fine.
Well, no, he swapped his shield with. Oh, sorry. Swapped his shield with a shield, and then didn't equip it on the feet. You see?
He's got it. Yeah, he's got it.
That's right. Sorry, I thought he had flame shirt on. I was like, oh.
Alright, gonna check the rest. So, better trap treasure. Pan out a little bit here. The armory. You say that and you find $7 and a couple bottles of lotion.
The dragon sword.
Yeah, dragon sword -1 is a weapon. You know?
Not
so
that bad.
it could be a whole lot better. It could be neutral.
That's right.
Infinitetape making some progress here in the waterfall, throwing nukes around, melting some mud goals, hitting level 12. That's gotta be a little frustrating because I'm sure we had those levels in Earth that we lost, but you know, keep moving forward. It's about all you can do, and just hope you don't see the grossness that bounced Min out the first time. But we're killing stuff. Both people are getting levels, so four momentum is being developed.
Yeah. Oh, we're +4. I'd say that the waterfalls wouldn't be a bad landing spot just to get a little bit more levels. You can survive whatever got Min out, but.
Well, it's the zombie Dean. If it's stone poison, we don't have a way out of this. Like a viable grind. We don't have an Aegis shield. We don't have ribbons. We just have to hope for get a bunch of HP, and there's the damage poison. So now we have to kill this thing and keep our white and black mages alive. So we're opting to run. That's a heads up play right there. Gold +4 bracelet is pretty good. I think we saw it though. Light axe. I missed that on Min's dive. Light axe in these flags with the white mage is a wonderful accompaniment. That is permanent. Just whenever you want Harm 2 to hit everybody. Alright. So, infinitetape gonna move the picture off the black mage. Can't do
Pretty sure that has to.
Yeah, it's white mage can't wear black shirts. It goes against their branding. And Dark Moon pointing out in chat that Harm 2 is the Fisher Price fade. It's important. It's like the Duplo Legos. It's that version of Fade.
The Lincoln Logs.
Another pro ring. That's regular Harm. Is Lincoln Logs. Rich Borg coming in. You didn't miss Food Talk yet. We've been talking too much about Final Fantasy. These runners have been keeping us on our toes this whole race. So 40 minutes in, Min with an orblet, no eyes on loot or key. Infinitetape is just getting the bad news over and over again that this seed doesn't like him, but we like him, so we're rooting for him. And that's a nice little. We got a nice little gear setup on Min's side. We got the flame and ice shields for both. One for the knight, one for the ninja. That's a kind of love to see it kind of play. It doesn't happen very often. That's right, Rich. You're never punished for being late to a broadcast. You made it. You're here hanging out, watching this wonderful randomizer. If you were watching this at home on YouTube, on Twitch, be sure to check out FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Get in on the action. You can play these seeds yourself. There's a link to our Discord. You can become a part of the community. sign up for the new Duck Derby that's coming up, and just get to hang out with us, play the game, and as Fizzle would say, we'll teach you how to beat us. And Infinite Tape also skipped the caravan. Oh, no. Oh, that's big time yikes, and that's the wrong eye. Get away from it, man. Don't fight it. Just run from it. Oof, and that wrong eye is going to be guarding the red D box, which will probably keep men from checking it. And that isn't the third and final or fourth better trap treasure here, and no, we're going to do it. We think we can run from this phantom. We can. Oh, there's the right eye. Yay! Gotta love the right eye right next to the wrong eye. Yeah, okay.
Flashbacks to them being at the eye doctor. Which one's better, the left one or the right one?
Number one, number two. Number one or number two. All right, so I think we know where Min's gonna settle in for a little bit. And before we
doesn't even open the chat, he just goes right back over the.
The wonderful thing about this is once we get a comfortable party level, we could use the Phantom to get rid of everyone else. And then just go back to the solo grind.
Yep. See, now, this wouldn't have been a bad spot to grab a black belt, I'll give you that.
Yeah. All right,
it was really risky until we had the grind.
And Infinite Tape's gonna go to Ice Cave, so hey, on the way to Ice Cave, some more Grimps just setting the world on fire. Little anarchist Grimps.
I don't know who angered them.
Right?
Curious or something.
Some Grimps just want to watch the world burn. All right, so Infinite Tape heading into Ice, Min working on his eye grind. I asked both of these runners before the race started what their go-to late night snacks are, because here we are, it's 9 p.m. here on the East Coast just about. It's late night for me. I'm an old man. This is almost my bedtime. And I was feeling snackish, so if you're out there in chat, tell us what your favorite late night snacks are, and Infinite Tape and Min, they might have some similarities in what you like. So Infinite Tape.
You're gonna think
What's that? What are your go-to like?
My late night snack right now is going to be butter lamb with saffron rice.
That's dinner, man. Get out of here.
No, I had dinner 2 hours ago. These are leftover dinners.
Why didn't you post pictures in the FFR food chat?
Because it didn't survive that long. It looked pretty, then it was empty.
Wow, we got some delicious stuff in chat. Midnight cereal, I can respect it. I don't like eating that late at night though. It's bad for my old man body. I'm gaining too much weight if I eat like after 8 p.m. Nuke cheddar on a flour tortilla with hot sauce. That's a microwave quesadilla. I can get behind it. Eat some cocoa rice cereal before bed. That's Cocoa Pebbles, and that's another midnight cereal eater. And I think we're done with the grind already on Min's side, as Rich Bork talks about bell peppers and hummus. Leftovers, you got Kindred Spirit and It's the Frog. Pretzels with dip. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Dry. Another cereal. Cereal gang coming out strong. Funyuns, Nova Lox bagel with cream cheese, butter, Kalamata olives, and tomatoes. Dark Moon, our restreamer, just has a whole like schmear for late night snack. What most people would consider like breakfast or something. No, it's just what I eat in the middle of the night. As Min works on Carry 1, Infinite Tape finds the seafood party pack. This is not the late night snack you want to find, and tries working Bane. Bane. Swing that sword. You'll get a lot more use out of it fighting Carry 1. She is not susceptible to stone poison. That is a 3 in 256 chance. We got microwave burritos, spoonful of peanut butter. All of these are delicious snacks.
At this point, we need to get into the food controversies. Like, is it salt or sugar on watermelon or pepper?
Whoa. What?
So I was born in the South, and down there we put salt on our watermelon. I moved up north, they put sugar on their watermelon.
I have never seen a human being put anything on a watermelon other than their mouth to eat it. Yeah, I've never seen anybody put anything on it. Salt makes sense. Salty sweet, that's a classic combination. But
It's like it's popcorn too.
I mean,
salt on my popcorn, and then I've had people do sugar. It's like,
well, popcorn's versatile in that regard, and we're getting a black mage for men. I don't see who you replaced though. We replaced the white mage. Wow.
you were
Okay.
like, you were very helpful. You were forced. Goodbye.
You bring up an interesting point. There's our herb. So there's finally our ice cave information is herb. So we don't know if that's floater or loot or Warple sword, and something's for sale in caravan. The salty sweet is a fascinating thing when you compare the. I also grew up in the South End on the Northeast here in the U.S. and grits is a thing that I'm going to talk about tomorrow more during breakfast talk, but in the South, it's a savory dish. You put cheese, you can cook it with stock, you put salt, bacon, pepper. It's a savory breakfast, grainy porridge, where in the North, they'll put sugar in it. And it's, it's not for me, but it's for somebody.
They call it thermal wheat where I'm at now, and I'm like, that's not grits. That's something else entirely different.
It's something else entirely. Grits, ground hominy, cream of wheat is something else entirely. It's a whole different kind of porridge. And Carib's given the business to Infinite Tape. But we didn't even talk about our runner's favorite snacks. Infinite Tape, Cheez-Its. I can get behind Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are one of those things that's just like, I always forget how good they are until I eat one. And it's just like, why are these so good? This salty little cheesy wafer that are they're really good.
Cheddar ones.
Yeah, cheddar ones are good. The Parm cheddar ones are really good. He also mentioned the white cheddars. 10 out of 10.
The regular cheddar.
Yeah. So Min with 2 orbs lit, heading to Ice Cave, gonna get the herb, and you wonder what happened to Infinite Tape's party. We're limping into Crescent Lake with a black wizard. But we made it, so that's good news. That's got to feel some sort of reward there where we didn't have another unfortunate wipe, so we can at least breathe a little easier for Infinite Tape. Also mentioned Welsh's fruit snacks. And get behind that. I like the fruit snacks. I like you remember, I'm just going to assume for saying that you're the same age as me, even though you're probably a young person. Do you remember Shark Bites? The delicious little fruit snacks that came in the shape of sharks, and they had little treasure chests, and then there was the great white one that was added. It was like strawberry flavored. Am I alone in the world of fruit snacks? They were the best fruit snacks. And they taste... I've had fruit snacks that taste the same, and the only ones I've been able to find consistently, I think Kellogg's makes them. They're pure candy. They're not like the Welch's ones are made of like real fruit juice. These are just like pure 100% junk food. But I think Kellogg's has a Hello Kitty fruit snacks that is just 10 out of 10. That tastes exactly the same like Shark Bites. It's the texture though. It's so good. We're gonna find out what this herb turns into right now, and is this the crown? All right, we're still going. Round and round we go. And finally, for Infinite Tape, his final late night stack is a chewy granola bar, which is, it's nice. It's good to eat, healthy, sort of like protein. Not just junk food late at night. Get some of those micronutrients in you. So I can get behind a granola bar.
I'm surprised not one person said ramen.
Ramen is really good.
I mean, you got different ways to do it. You can just break it up and eat it dry with the seasoning on it.
That blew my mind the first time when I saw my buddy do that. I was just like, what are you doing? He's just like, just watch. He's like, he just took the bag and just smashed it on the counter and then opened it up and drizzled the chicken powder in it and just went to town. I was like, what? And then he poured some in my hand. I was like, these are the best potato chips I've ever had. Because it's that crunchy, salty, savory vibe. And Crown is a floater. So that's a good news, bad news situation. That's good news, bad news, because we're going to get the bottle and slab turn in. We're still looking for a loot, but that loot could be sitting for sale. Maybe...
Where did we find the bottle at? Do we remember?
The bottle was the Canary Locked. We found it early.
Okay. So I was gonna say he still Min does not have the key yet, so that means he has not done ordeals.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because the floater is typically a good thing to find. But in these flags, it could send us down a rabbit hole if we continue to scuff the caravan. Now, once our runners get airborne, that muscle memory might kick in to immediately just go check the caravan, but it is something we found before. Yeah, like we've had access to, rather. As Infinite Tape checking tiles in Northwest here after getting the floater, getting some decent levels. We're only about 5 levels behind Min. We want to stay away from those Cobras. They got cremate and they're not good XP. But you know, we're Infinite Tape's making progress. He's about to get in the air as Min is going to sail around, get the crown, and then get his floater and start his airborne exploration. Min, speaking of his go-to snacks, we have pretzels, simple, elegant solution to a delicious sort of savory, salty snack. I mean, in my mind, pretzels are a perfect snack. I have nothing bad to say about them.
Hold on. There's a very key question here. Hard pretzels are soft? I'm a sucker for soft pretzel. I hate hard pretzels.
Well, I mean, nobody's perfect, Forsaken.
I know. I accept my faults.
I like both. I grew up outside. Like I said, I grew up in the Northeast, so like the soft pretzels, like it's very like I associate it strongly with Philadelphia, but I know other major cities also probably have soft pretzel vendors. But
thank you, Jesus the Frog. Thank you.
Yeah, I like
imitating on your races pay off for me eventually.
I like the soft pretzels, like the big Bavarian style where you get the cheese and the grainy mustard, but I also like the crunchy ones. Like there's something just so simple and elegant to me about a handful of M&Ms and a handful of pretzels and just shoving them both in your mouth. And just making the chocolate covered pretzels a la Frank Reynolds and just making it in your mouth. As Infinite Tape gets Crystal from the ferry, so Fetch Quest 2023 continues as Infinite Tape probably gonna fly south. Probably gonna fly, thank you. And nope, go back. No. Oh,
well, it looks like you already has the loot.
I was. The loot was for sale in Gaia. I missed it. I was too busy confused about pretzels. So that means the slab and the crystal will turn into our Vorpal and our ribbon. So
But now here's the question.
We are not punished, which is good news.
Do we go ahead and open our go get one of those, hoping we're going to get our ribbon or a Vorpal, both, which would be great options if we roll high on a Vorpal? Or do we go for our orbs?
I think eventually we do both. We get our orbs and then we go to Lefane just because it's free. It's just walk down there. It's either going to be Vorpal or Ribbon. Both of those would serve this party well, and we can do our magic shopping all in one shop, all in one stop. And then Matoya with the crystal turn-in is literally right next to TOF. So it's basically a free check. And we haven't seen what was in her boxes. Like, she could have another ribbon just hanging out there. It's not the craziest thing to have found. I do want to bring up Min's other snacks before I forget and give him his credit. He also called out just chocolates. Like, he said the ones with peanut butter and caramel are his favorites. Not necessarily peanut butter and caramel, but chocolates with peanut butter, chocolates with caramel. And I get that. Chocolates there's something inherently satisfying about them as long as you're not, like, allergic, right? And a Min after my own heart, his third and final late night snack go-to was mozzarella sticks, and that just speaks to me at my core. I love mozzarella sticks. I love most fried dipping things that you can put in, and I'd rather have mozzarella sticks than pizza rolls. Chat's gonna hate me probably, but Totino's pizza rolls, I can never eat them and I would die a happy man. Like, I don't think they're good. It's like, they're fine. You know, they're fine. They're fine. Pizza rolls overrated. Blue steak!
Big old bites kind of guy, aren't you?
Blue stick. Hey, I got support in chat. Mozzie sticks. Mozzie sticks are so good. Like, they can be bad, but like growing up, like there's pizza shops all over the place. Where it was when I was a kid, and you know, mozzarella sticks, French fries, pizza. You take the big flat New York style pizza and you put French fries and mozzarella sticks on it, and you fold it in half, and you just eat this greasy, deep fried nightmare. And you relish the fact that you're 14 and you have the metabolism of like a great white shark, and you're just not going to gain any weight.
That's awesome. I want one of those. Where can I go to buy one?
You have to buy all the components and make it yourself.
Oh.
But yeah, mozzarella sticks, I love it. Like when I had my wisdom teeth removed, my partner at the time, who took me to the appointment of bringing me back, and I was in that sort of anesthetic brain where I didn't know where I was. Apparently, I kept telling them to. I wanted to just drink a jar of marinara sauce, and I wanted to eat an entire plate of spring rolls. So I think that's who I am at my core. A marinara.
Oh, that's hilarious.
A marinara dump, and just stuff me full of spring rolls. Like, they're so good. Especially like the Thai ones with the crispy. Oh, they're so good. The thin, crispy paper. Don't get me wrong. I like the Chinese thick egg rolls too. And there's our ribbon. So we know that Matoya has a sword. We hope that Matoya's sword is positive.
Yeah. There is a Korean dish, and I cannot remember the name of it. But it's like a spring roll, only it is like twice the length of a Thai spring roll, and it's deep fried and crispy.
Huh.
But it's like really, really thin. It's only like the size of a pen.
Oh.
And like, they are so amazing.
That's interesting. I lived in Korea for a little while, and I don't remember that. I was thinking maybe it might be talking about like that. I think it's tteokbokki, the fried like rice. But is just tempura? Imagine Sleep in Chat just saying tempura. It could just be like a vegetable tempura. I know that's big in Japan. I didn't see a lot of tempura when I was in Korea, but that was a number of years ago. That would date me, and I don't want to. I joke around that I'm old, but I don't want people to actually know that I'm really old. I love Korean food though. We had are you familiar with banchan, the Korean fried chicken?
Yes.
So there's a like a mom and pop stop kind of place like that, and it's better than banchan. And it's not what it's called. That would be like the pettiest restaurant name. But we had spicy Korean fried chicken for dinner, and it was awesome.
That sounds good. I've got a Vietnamese place nearby that I have not been able to stop not going to. Every time I go there, greatest pho. Then there's a place right next door that has bibimbap.
Bibimbap? Yeah, that's one of my favorite Korean dishes too. Bibimbap, the spicy pork and rice, the jeokbokkeum, like that's I ate that nonstop when I was in Korea. Min in Ordeal's gonna get the bad news that we're on a 4 teleporter seed here, but he's got some key item gear catching up to do, while infinitetape has orb lighting to do, but he's going to get his ribbon here and get a little bit more survivability for that red wizard, I would imagine. That's our life caster at the moment. Right? The red wizard had life. Am I going crazy? These guys are life 2 at level 2.
Here we go. The name of it is a harumaki.
Harumaki?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like a deep fried spring roll.
Nice. There's that.
Definitely worth trying it if you can find it.
Yeah. There was a really good Korean place by me that unfortunately didn't survive the COVID lockdown. But it was my go-to place for good Korean food in my area. Like they had it's like my test of like a good Korean place is like what they give me when I sit down. Like are they going to give me the kimchi? They're going to give me the radishes, the cucumbers, the shredded cabbage that's not fermented. Like what are they going to put in front of me as like my little like just accoutrement plates? Because in Korea that's what they do. All that stuff's usually just on the table when you go out to eat. And sometimes like they don't, and it's usually a subpar experience. But I miss it. It was really good. It was really good. They had really good bulgogi. They had good bibimbap. I miss kimchi because like you get grocery store kimchi and it's just a bummer. It doesn't taste good. It's weirdly fermented and it just doesn't taste right.
We've got a place here in town that is probably my favorite Korean barbecue place I've ever eaten. When you sit down, they bring you out 8 different bowls of sides to go with it.
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's just when you sit down. They're like, you have everything. Call me if you need more.
Oh, and Budge Mono pointing out that something we missed too. Apparently, infinitetape picked up the defense sword in the mage box and ice, which is one of those better trap treasures. So that is important to have for Temple of Fiends with these flags. You want some sort of evasion stacking that's free. And he's finalizing his magic purchases. Level 21 isn't ideal, but we got dungeons to clear. We might do Sky, get some levels along the way. Minh finding blue stake here. And up to 24 across the board, so it's interesting that the levels between both parties are as close as they are. Because I feel like if infinitetape had lost those 2 dives, he might be ahead here, because if he had, because he's already in go mode, where Minh has now, okay, he's got key and loot now, but he's going to continue hunting down that in-game weapon. So,
see, it's definitely going to be interesting because I feel like, well, Minh's going to be doing a lot of this hunting, and maybe even if he wants to go further to find that Vorpal or the ribbon. Yeah. I don't know if he got the ribbon yet.
The ribbon was in Lafane. It was our slab turn-in. So the crystal chain should be Vorpal. My math's right?
Yeah, because I think that's all that's left.
Yeah, because bottle will turn into crystal. Yeah. Because
Infinite could make it through 2 dungeons through that time fairly quickly. I mean,
this is true.
He's got enough gear now. He could just sprint right through this and be done.
And there's Minh. Okay, so Minh just got the loot, so he's now in go mode. Okay.
Yes. Which he's probably relieved for because he was like, whew.
I'll be curious to see if we go into Matoya and there's like dragon armor or a ribbon, and you know, just sitting up here the whole time, that would have just made our life so much easier with this overworld as being as gross as it is. A Vorpal -3.
-3. It's even worse than usual.
I mean, we got temper. It's fine, right? This is my coping mechanism. We're not even gonna open the boxes of Matoya. Man, they're right there. They could be ribbons. We only have...
opened every other box you came across. Suddenly I tried to walk out here and
there could be X-Cal. Oh, man. Okay.
Is this the frog? The last seed last night that I was watching, it rolled a +5 and they got it within 5 minutes.
That's so great, especially when like they get like the legendary sword bonus.
Yeah. They were just running around killing everything, and I'm like, alright, so he's hitting chaos for 400, I'll just count how many times it takes for him to die.
I would love to see him move that pro ring. Move that pro ring. Thank you. Alright. I guess this is gear. It's fine. We can make this work. Please check the TOF log boxes. Check the TOF log boxes. They're blessed. Those boxes are blessed.
He is so paranoid, he is behind.
Yeah.
He is rich.
Yeah, I mean, 65 minutes in, you can't help but feel behind. When you have people like Deadpulse like streaming like runs to get it under 35 minutes, you can't help but feel behind here. But those are 100% jet seas where Deadpulse is doing this, and this is a little bit longer than the average run probably, but that is not on the runners. That is the key item placement and the scripts and gonna rando, you know. But
I actually was curious if one of our like changes could be like short Topher, but no, it's not.
no,
For a miracle.
short Topher would make these flags ridiculous. Like they would be so fast because you would be able to challenge the Temple of Fiends revisited at level 18, level 19, because you just have to just keep going in and just sheer force of will, just, you know, instead of having to balance all your resources across 8 floors of a dungeon with random encounters, you know, 6 every 256 steps or whatever, into just like, I got 5 fights I gotta do. Can I Nova for 5 fights and survive? So I think long Topher's the right call here.
Remind me to suggest a medium Topher. You have long Topher, which is 8 floors. You have short Topher, which is a floor. Then we have one that's like 4.5 floors.
It's just the top floors, and then you go up to the loot plate, then down, and then it's into TOF or the short Topher.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Lich 2. We're going offense strats. We're gonna temper nuke for damage. I didn't see how much it was, and other damage. It was enough to make Lich ink, so I guess that's good of a comparison as we could draw. 4 hits, 45 damage. Whatever that ninja swinging isn't doing it, but that 4 minus 3.
480.
I mean, that red wizard does have plus 40 strength, but Infinite Tape just pulled a katana plus 4 that no one can use. Dang. You hate to see it.
He is a thief. No, he doesn't have a thief.
Oh, he might get one behind Tiamat. Because we don't know what allies available here, but here comes Carry 2. We're gonna temper, we're gonna lock, we're gonna more tempers, more locks, and nuclear comes out. Bane, that's a 3 and 256 chance, man.
You've opened enough boxes. Sometimes it's good to just say no more.
Yeah,
Believe in you, but you gotta just get out of there.
Yeah, swing that Bane sword, please. It's an in-game weapon. It's tied for the best crit of like that 3rd tier sword. Like you can make it work. You got tempers, no power gauntlet. So if Infinite Tape finds a power gauntlet and then we just got bounced out by Carry 2, open those boxes, man, open those boxes. Never punished, open those boxes. Blaze from the rock goals, and we're in man mode for Infinite Tape here, which those things hit like trucks. What armor are we wearing? All right, Infinite Tape. That's impromptu man mode grind. Oh, buddy.
I get max HP fighter over here.
I am stressed. My late night.
A power box and a ruse stick. I think he already has the ruse stick.
Yeah, he's got the defense sword. So, silver hat, wood shield. Now, see, on this floor, if you go to the top 4 boxes, one of those is blessed, and that's worth opening. But hey, fighter! Hey, take it. Fighter's good XP. Fighter's good XP. Infinite Tape, watch his back. Take that fighter fight. Sentries don't fight them. They might have too much HP. But fighters always fight a fighter. Fighters got mages with them. Ignore the bizarre light warriors. But if it's just fighter, like take that fight. Unless they got a gross script, then you do you. Hero run across the bridge. It's a red wizard. So the Ninja Dream is alive behind Kraken. That's the only place we can find one. Yeah, those.
Or there could never be one at all.
That's true. Those golems were hitting so hard on that decently armored knight, and men getting shuffled out again. So I think with each successive reset, that Tia 2 is hitting hard.
I'm not sure how she wants to hit. That first one was light, the second one was hard. Third one was light, the second one was a little bit harder.
You gotta use the ruse, man. If Tia's coming out all punches, you gotta ruse. So Infinite Tape gets the bad news that he's got to go back into a Fiend dungeon. So not having the best of luck here, but we've got information. We know what sort of packs to avoid. on the climb. We know what boxes to pick up. We know what boxes to avoid. See, I would be taking.
You don't know what will happen through carry 2 or after carry 2. Kraken 2 could be an absolute nightmare. But Tia 2 could be even worse.
And you can see the indecision here is plaguing Infinite Tape. Yeah, we were walking. It's like, no, we gotta go. I can respect that. There's a time and place for doubling down on quote unquote bad decisions, as Deadpulse would say, but it's an hour 11, hour 12. Like you know you're behind because you've wiped 3 times in dungeons. You hope your opponent is struggling, either in Topher or sharing your struggles, but you know that you're behind the curve right now, so you want to go faster, and it's like that is informing your hands and like your physical button pushing, and you can see the jittery nerves, you can see this sort of just manifesting in the pathing, and I've been there. I feel it. Like it's tough, but yeah, this is a good lesson for him. This is his first restream race. He's gonna have the tape to come back and watch, learn about Midnight Snacks, and Min making the approach on carry 2 once again. And he's picking that katana up. I like that, back pocket play. That means, we're still holding out hope for a thief being available.
Well, he hasn't seen the end of Volcano or Earth yet, so...
Yeah, if he goes...
there's a chance, but...
Yeah, if he goes into Volcano, he'll at least be rewarded possibly with the eye grind. But that's the red D box. I don't see a lot of runners checking that. At least not this late in the game. And there's Min finally swinging that Bane Sword. He heard me. He heard me through the Temporal Void. 4 hits, 230 damage from that Bane Sword. And there's the nuclear. If we're going to lean on that Red Wizard for melee damage, we need to keep that Red Wizard above 320 HP. That is the max roll for nuclear. And we're making it wait now. I don't understand that. In my mind, Topher fight, all damage is damage. You're not saving time by having your tempered plus 40s. That could have just been a miss menu, but we're through, and gonna use some Cure Force to save time instead of heal potting. And we're gonna see what Kraken 4 has to offer. Infinite Tape almost to the Bridge of Destiny once more, and we've got a full party, so we did not get blown up by rock goals this time. And here comes Kraken 2. What do we do? Temper. 3 Temper casters dumping into that Vorpal swinging plus 40 strength Warmech. This is spice. Warmech said his favorite midnight snack is Light Warriors, and he's coming. He didn't bring his microwave with him. Blowtorch comes out. Get through, that's fine. Invis 2 stacks, I like it. Min still working on Kraken. Get damage in. Kraken 2 should not have the 388 nuke. Will do it. So, success here for Min onto the Tiamat floor as Infinite Tape trying to get through this robot friend and get all of that juicy XP out of it. But once more, it is man mode time.
That was a bad roll of Bane.
Yeah, Bane is scary. It means it's not that one Bane cast isn't in the Temple of Fiends Revisited scripts, which is good news for him, but unfortunately, we might get chip damage down here. We need a big swing from this Ice Sword. 3 is 51 damage. 3 is 184. Rub! Oh, we got a chance! We gotta just... Oh, miss! And then nuclear. Infinite Tape is, I would imagine, all the way tilted. Like, this has got to be a frustrating run for him. Like, he's had so much bad luck in these dives, and it's just, I feel like this is just rando gonna rando on him, and it's nothing he's doing necessarily wrong. It's just
right.
Yeah,
He's
and
doing all the good plays.
there's
played a
nuke that
good
comes
game.
out, and Min is down to one light warrior swinging that Bane sword, and we're resetting. We did not see a path to victory there, so now I'd imagine Min is out of his mind, tilted, or frustrated at the very least with how this Temple of Fiends dive is going. And I know every one of these Topher resets, you're looking at the race time chat a little more frequently with each progressive reset. This is
If you're there, your opponent can be there.
Yeah, and like that's all you can hope for at this moment. Unless I would imagine. Okay, so if you're Min, you've had 3 dives into Topher pretty deep that have bounced you out. Twice on Carry 2, once on Tia 2. At what point do you get off the struggle bus and change plans? Go get levels, go find that eye some more. Like the eye tile is deep, but
I would stay right there, go down, and earth and water floor run back and forth.
Yeah,
if you get to the water floor, that's good experience right there.
This is good experience too, running from back-to-back worm packs.
I mean, you're already there. It's best to farm there. I mean, yeah, the eye tile would be amazing right now, but it's like...
What is interesting is infinitetape is going to come here. He's going to see the wrong eye, and he's going to lose his Black Wizard. But if he checks that spike tile on the red D floor and finds the eye, that black belt is right behind Carry. And that is the nuclear football for FFR. Like when you absolutely positively need to get through a Temple of Fiends, a level 42 black belt will do that, but we're not going to check that tile. But he'll still see the black belt, so... No, the black belt was in Earth. I apologize. That was thank you, Saracen. I remember that as soon as we were walking in the room. So we still might see it. As Min loses the knight and is getting chip damage down by... So if Lich 2 is giving you the business, I think it's time to reevaluate our strategy here. Like, we can still get through. I mean, these flags don't require a high level black belt. They can make it they can make it trivial, but you can get through these Tophers with a low 20 party. It needs to be the right kind of Topher, and it is not that kind of Topher today. I don't think we need necessarily a black belt to get through it. We just need a little bit tighter resource management, a little bit better luck on the Fiend refights. But infinitetape or
Blitz. Just watched Min run from 4 Agamas. It's been a good time to grab a little extra experience.
Yeah, the problem with that is though, if you lose that fight, you know, like if you lose that dive, like then we took that fight for what? You know, so unless you're planning to exit out and save those levels, it's a tough call to try to take the trash fights. But infinitetape opting for Earth, so he should be fine here. I don't think Min saw anything gross other than the Fire 2 Grimps, but we've got... I think he's got the Ice Gear. And I know he's got the Ribbon, so... Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing like a party grind somewhere, but we're back on Kraken floor, and Arachnids have crack.
Yeah, that's right. That's what was down here last time too.
So, if you're infinitetape, I mean, I think every runner in the community has experienced what infinitetape is going through at some point in their racing career, or even just, you know, casually playing a seed. What like constructive, like sort of advice would you have for him at this moment, Forsaken?
honestly, it would be to stop, take a deep breath. Your opponent's not done yet, so the game's not over.
Yeah.
Just, you can do it again. I mean, I was in a race when I first became a duckling, and it was, everybody finished. I was the first one in Topher.
Yeah.
But I was the last one to finish in the group because I got tilted by Topher. I went through Topher probably about 15 times.
Yeah.
And everybody else went through it too. So, like, don't give up, but just, you gotta make sure that you stay focused and you don't get overwhelmed. You don't let the game win. That makes sense.
Don't let the game win. And it's important to point out that myself, Forsaken, and our wonderful tracker JLo, all representatives of the Center for Competitive Forfeiting, we understand that it's okay to give up on a seed that's given up on you. But at the moment, neither runners have given up. They're in it to win it, and it's really anyone's game, because once Infinite Tape gets through Lich, you know, there's his Bane +3 sword. So, I mean, we need a little bit better gear, I think, if we're going to be comfortable for Infinite Tape to go into Topher, but I don't know how many times I've seen people dive Topher, and our restreamer Darkmoon is a perfect example of this. We've talked about it before, where I think it was when his Duckling Derby, like, everybody was just getting bodied the whole seed, and he's like, no, I didn't see any of it. And he didn't. He just went right through it and just... I think he won that group race by like a good margin, just, you know, because rando gonna rando, and sometimes you don't see the nasty.
I had a few of those during practices with members of our group. We both got the same seed, and he's like, oh, I'm done. And I'm like, oh, I'm still trying to get past the first boss.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, especially with Infinite Tape, this is his first race. It's the first restream race, first time head-to-head racing. Like, there's a lot of nerves here. There's a lot of experience to gain. And I think the next race we're going to see a much tighter, sort of like focused run. I know that's been the case for most runners that I've watched their first races and seen their second dives. Like, it's night and day. You learn a lot from watching and getting this sort of comparative analysis. What did you do? What did your opponent do? Like, straight up. And there's Infinite Tape's black belt information, as Minh has T on the ropes here. I think we've got a good amount of damage into her, a lot of nukes going off. And we're very susceptible to nuclear at the moment, but Red Wizard with the most HP still under that 320 nuclear threshold, and if a nuke comes out, all bets are off with this party. Like, everybody could die. The melees for sure would go down with the mineral of 100. Ha, mineral. And oh, there, I saw the damage. I didn't see the nameplates, but yeah, I was like, thought that was in there. He opted out. He opted out.
We did take him.
He talked to him and said, no, I'll leave the black belt behind, and I'll just hope for the best. Now, if Infinite Tape, and we're through Tier 2, as Infinite Tape comes into Topher, we have a race, folks. If he checks TOF tiles and finds anything, oh, we're checking TOF tiles. It's mummies. Okay, that's disappointing. But we get Opal helmet. Okay, that's a hat. But it's on a ribbon. I guess we put the ribbon on the red mage. Chaos fight. Bane sword immediately. Just get this over with. Tempers. Bane sword ineffective. We're building up Nick. We're doing chip damage with Cass. More tempers. Chaos has fast. I hope we got evasion, because a fasted Chaos is a scary thing. Tempers. And a lock, hedging our bets that Chaos is going to be evasive and not putting more tempers in. Fire 2 rolls through, nothing doing. Temper weapon stronger. And, okay, so Taupe Box, we've got Sun -2. It's a sword. More tempers coming out. That's the last temper from DJ. Big swing there. 2 hits, 184. The lock 2 was a good instinct check there. Need to get some evasion into, or lowered from cast. We would also love to have any sort of evasion on that red wizard, but I don't think we bought a lot of defensive magic, which is spooky scary. All right, we're done. We're on heal pot strats and chip damage. Swing there. 2 hits, 202 damage. We need more hits. More hits, please, as that chaos shows what a 5-hit chaos can do. 512 damage hitting Minh. But there's 3 hits, 445 from that. So we're getting there. We're about halfway through. But evasion eats that entire vorpal swing, and it's just a complete whiff.
Thing is we have not seen Q4 out of anybody yet either.
And the red wizard is so susceptible right now. There's the nuke, and there it is. 3 hits, 35 damage.
We have a race.
Fired 3. We have a race, folks. We have a race. So, Minh has a lot of information. Infinitetape, so far so good. You know, if we're going through Topher, we don't have the best in-game kit, but would love to see Minh pivot to a grind. It feels bad to leave Topher, especially after like a 30-minute Topher dive. Like we've been in Topher about 30 minutes now. It's time to go get levels. There is the off chance that infinitetape has RNG on his side, but infinitetape will also likely need to get levels. Our levels aren't better. We do have a little bit more support in that white wizard, but we don't have a lot of spells on him. I would love to see a return visit to Feign. If this doesn't work, double check those magic shops. Buy Invis 2, buy Ruse if you can. Fog 2 is good, but only if you don't have anything else. And we got Invis 2. Okay, sit on those charges. We only got 4 of them. And Lich comes out with the zap, and adios to the white and the red wizard. Hopefully that knight has got a better weapon than the Great Axe. Alright, Infinitetape says no. And we're gonna grind mummies? We want that opal hat? What are we doing, Infinitetape? Tell me. Gonna shuffle some stuff around. Alright, put the ribbon on the black mage, because the white mage can't wear it. So I think I would put the ribbon on the red wizard, personally. That's our life caster. You usually want to ribbon your life caster.
So you can heal your party.
Alright, so we've seen where our runners have been. We have the mixed information from both dives so far through the entire game. With what we know from our omniscient perspective, where would you go to either get levels or look for gear? Because it looks like Infinitetape is doing the walking grind in TOF, and I like this play. This isn't necessarily the most experience-dense floor, but it'll work. Yeah, all these fights are good experience. They can be very high HP fights. So I like that. I love this adjustment already from Infinitetape.
I would probably go to one to see.
Really? You go to a whole new dungeon?
Yeah. I go to a whole new dungeon and check my trap tiles there.
Yeah.
And just see, because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
There could be something better. I mean,
yeah.
Eyes are great, but I mean, we saw the Agamas versus Eyes debate a couple nights ago.
Oh, Eyes are better than Agamas. I mean, scripts aside.
Syrian. Yeah, Syrian did not have very good luck there.
Yeah, scripts withstanding, Eyes are better. Like, their base HP isn't as high as an Agama, so like they're rarely going to roll as high as an Agama can roll. Like I've seen like 600 HP Agamas in these flags, and it's just, it might not be exactly 600, but like over 500 HP Agamas, and I've never seen an eye that wasn't susceptible to Quad X. All right, we're back to Kraken 2, and Infinitetape is burning through resources, just get levels. You know, the Topher exit is on these flags, so even if you don't have warp or exit, you can do this and leave. It's a viable strategy, especially if you didn't find a grind, and he didn't. So this is a good adjustment. I like it. I like the play. Already level 25, and he's never more than 30 steps from the exit. As Minh putting in work on Kraken 2 once again.
And it's not a bad grind. It's probably what I would do too. So
yeah, Kraken 2 just says stop. Just stop. It's time to stop. Ice 2 now from Kraken, so I don't know how deep we got into Kraken's spell list.
very nice. Think about it. He got through Kraken fairly quickly. Both or all the times he's run through. It was Carrie and Tia that seemed to be giving him a challenge. So
level 26 now, so he's past Minh in levels, and we're going to a different floor. This is a better floor if we can kill the badmen and they're not around a lot. But there's Gasties on this floor that we can kill. I mean, a Badman pack is good XP, it's just they can be very scary. If they get a lot of hits and they roll up in HP, which we saw 270 bounce off there, as Minh back onto Tia 2. And I would imagine that if we don't get through this dive, I would imagine Minh will pivot. There's only so much to gain from this.
A little surprised he hasn't pivoted sooner, but maybe he thinks he's just about there.
Yeah. I mean, switch to Harm 3. I mean, Harm 3 is great. It's non-elemental damage. Like we were kind of joking around about it earlier with chat, like Fisher Price fade, but it's effective, And back-to-back races within this tournament. We don't have exit. Don't panic. You can walk out of here. Oh, he's got warp. Okay. You can always walk out of here, Infinite-tape. There is a Topher exit. So.
He's got warp and plenty of houses, so he should be able to grind, hop out, heal up, go back in.
This is great. I mean, we don't need... Oh, and Tia doing Tia 2 things, and Minh, ever resilient, just going right back in. Like, I can appreciate the determination that Minh is demonstrating, but at a certain point, a pivot should be made. Like, you watch some runners, they'll talk about how many times do you bounce off something before you change approach, and some runners will say 3 times. They do 3. If they bounce off 3 times, they'll leave, they'll go do something else. When it's Topher and you're now 90 minutes in to the seed, and you've been in Topher for the majority of that, it's hard to break out of that tunnel vision, because you almost get the feeling that the minute you leave, your opponent's going to finish. And Infinite-tape looks like he's in his descent, so his levels are a little bit higher. His gear isn't as good as Minh's, so I don't ever want to say that I expect not good things to happen, but I don't, just based on the facts that are in front of me, I don't see Infinite-tape's dive here being any more successful than Minh's approaches. So I wonder if Infinite-tape bounces out here, if we'll go back to the Topher grind, or if we'll go look for a better toolkit. But RNG is always the major factor here in combat. RNG is the biggest swing in FFR, so we'll see. Anything's possible, right? All it takes is 3 and 256 chance, and that bane will go through.
We got Minh coming under lich. Let's see how he's going to take this one.
Jesus is pointing out that, Infinite-tape does have the defense sword and Invis 2 stacks, so... And that's the problem right there, Zap. The Zap and the things that we were not protected against without a ribbon. Granted, we do have the black shirt on the black mage, or the black wizard, so hopefully that is equipped. As both runners now on Lich 2, Minh is through, and Infinite-tape making the adjustments. We got fast cast now, which is good good to know. I don't think Min has fast casts.
He doesn't. I've seen he only has temper.
Yeah, I don't think we bought fast. So Infinite has lesser gear, but a better spell kit. So we'll see how the resource management goes.
How many
Through
casts?
this
Yeah. How many casts of fast does he have?
2. So one for Tia, one for Chaos. Yeah. I would imagine,
yeah,
or
that
2,
could be what it means.
or 2 for Chaos, and fast both the red and the knight. Because that 40 strength on that red wizard with that extra 10% hit is nothing to sneeze at. Like, we've seen Min's red wizard putting in work. The problem are the swordsmen swinging. I think that ninja is swinging like a silver dagger. Like, there's got to be a better sword that we can equip and that we can put in that ninja's hand than a black mage weapon.
Is that his white mage? Life 1, but not life 2?
Yeah, that's why I said I would love to see a return to Lefane at some point, just to finalize spell shopping.
Agree. Alright, let's see how Carrie goes for him. Now, Carrie hasn't been that bad tonight. Carrie's been fairly easy for Min to get through, but
yeah, the problem
something we don't know.
Yeah, the problem here is that Min is now in essentially man mode with a combined knight and ninja. There is no life on this party. The knight was locked out of promotion spells, so it's shake the magic 8 ball. You know, it's not looking good here for Min. Just based on what we've seen past Kraken 2. Whoa! Yeah.
That's not a problem, I understand.
Alright. 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 That's fair.
That'll make me feel young still, thank you.
Yeah, you can yeah, okay. Alright, so our illustrious restreamer Darkmoon just informed us that there's a 10 p.m. race starting, so we're going to see some art happening in this broadcast as both of these runners continue their Topher dive in this sort of slog of a Topher that these runners are enduring. Infinite Tape taking on Kraken 2 as Min once again, and I want to give Min a hug because I know like the frustration that is.
Hold on. You may have to give him a hug, a nice hot blanket, and something to snack on.
Yeah, give him a cup of hot chocolate.
Yes.
Just a basket of mozzarella sticks with the best marinara. As Infinite Tape takes on Kraken 2 once more. Yeah, there's nothing better to me than a good marinara sauce, and I'm not even Italian. And we're down once again to no more life on Infinite, so we are in a precarious position, making that axe work. And just chopping Kraken down. Here comes a nuke. We've had enough. Just go. It's time to go, Kraken. 3 hits for the amount of damage was enough to get it done. Alrighty. Tia 2 time. We got a knight, and we got a temper fast caster. I've seen crazier stuff happen, man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And there's the damage poison. Hey, I heard you're running out of heal pots. What if we took some more of those from you? Yep, time to reshuffle that gear around. There's not a whole lot of shuffling you can do. There's not a lot there to work with. Yeah.
Lecture on the Black Mage.
The gold bracelet's better. On base, they have the same amount of absorb, so...
Yeah.
A silver axe. Put the bane sword on him. Put the bane sword on him. The bane sword's better than a silver axe. Bane sword's better than a silver axe. Bane sword's better than a silver axe. If infinitetape, if you take nothing away from this, no. The bane sword is better than a silver axe. I promise you, I would never lead you astray. Use the defense sword. Thank you. Cast Brack, 7% chance. It's better than nothing. Because it's better than nothing. And we have it's not wasting any other resources. We're saving our tempers, our fasts, because we have wishful thinking. That is what WT stands for. It is not Winter Tournament. It is wishful thinking. 7% chance.
You know, I just realized there's a fork in the middle of the screen.
Oh, and there is a wipe from infinitetape. So what do we do? Are we going to go back and get levels into TOF? I would love... It's got to be levels.
Nope.
Go to the third floor.
Maybe.
Third floor is good experience.
Right? Yeah, the water floor is the best floor.
And the runners are on a 10-minute delay, but sometimes it feels like they can hear us. Like in real time that they can hear us. Oh, man.
Those two chests at infinites in the room, do you ever look in them?
Yeah. If I'm gear starved and I need a miracle, yeah. I'll even check the boxes on Carrie's floor if I'm really desperate. Not all four, but just...
That's what gear's for?
There's 4 of them. As our runners are going through Topher, and art is happening. You're seeing the sausage get made, folks.
You want to know how it's made? Well, here we go.
I've actually got into making homemade sausage. It's been a treat. I was talking about it with Fizzle on our last commentary.
See, I like sausage. I want to learn how to make pepperoni.
Pepperoni's a whole different animal. That's like curing meat and like you gotta like smoke it. And it's like a whole thing. Like I'm just grinding up pork and salting it, and letting it sit in the fridge with some seasoning on it. You know, and then salt and ground meat will make sausage. That's all you need to know. Everything else is just flavor and texture. And it's just like, I think it's 2% salt. So whatever you're by weight might even just be 1%. It's not much salt. So it's like if you have, like you weigh your meat, you've got 1,000 grams of meat, just put, 10 grams of salt in it. And that's all you need, 20 grams of salt. Just kind of work it in. And you let it sit for at least...
machine?
No, I just have a food processor. You just, I'd cut up the meat into like 1 to 2 inch cubes that I'm using, and then we'll, well, there's a lot of... You're seeing the sausage get made, folks. And you put, so I cube up the meat, and then I put that on like a sheet tray, a cookie sheet, along with the blade of the food processor, and throw it in the freezer for like 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes to a half hour. So the blade gets nice and cold, the meat starts to get firm, and then you just pulse it in the food processor, and it'll break it down, and you kind of make your own ground beef or ground meat that way. But then, yeah, you mix in the salt, you mix in the seasoning, you let it sit for at least like 8 hours or overnight, and you have sausage. And you just want to make sure like you're putting some fat into it. So if like the meat that you're using isn't very fatty, get like some fat scraps from like a hunk of pork or beef or whatever kind of sausage you're making. I've done it with, I was talking about it with the last time I did commentary with Fizzle, and it was, the fat that I used was bacon. So it was a pork sausage that tasted like breakfast sausage and bacon together. It was delightful. And Ludicus, that is asking if the stream is messed up for anyone else. That is our restreamer working to get this converted into a 6-player layout, because there is a double header happening at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we don't want to cut away from these runners until this race is decided. So what our restreamer is doing is getting them set up while also setting up the four-way race that's happening at 10 o'clock. So we can keep eyes on this, and then the broadcast team for the 10 p.m. will kind of come in. We'll hand off. It's like a marathon, kind of. You're just getting to see what happens, hence the sausage talk.
Now you know it's kind of hilarious here. Broadcast team for the next one is me.
Well, you got to go anywhere. Yeah. And it looks like maybe, I mean, Infinite Tape might be taking a bio break. I mean, I've been here before. You know, race goes long, and it's just like I got nature calls. I got to do what I got to do. So, because we're hung up on that saving screen while Min is continuing his dive, and you'd love to see some more levels for Min, but. And I do like that Infinite Tape is continuing to pivot with each successive, like, or not successive and not successful, but you know what I mean? Like with each subsequent dive. Yeah, like I don't have the toolkit to get through this Temple of Fiends, and that toolkit can be any number of things from physical gear, magic, or just simple levels, you know.
Some more charges of fast would be enough to get them through.
Yeah. And we're still getting levels. We're still walking around. I'm assuming that's what that step was. I mean, this floor 3 is a good floor to get XP. You should get the gas Ds. There's the fighter. Oh, we're running. Okay.
It's got done with the bio breaker.
Because back when I was first getting into running, you would see runners like come into Topher, and instead of going to the right, they would go to the left. And if you go to the left, there's a staircase that takes you down to the earth floor. And you would see runners go down there and just immediately just go grind on the earth floor, taking packs like Gurmedusas and Sorias. And it was, at the time, like considered like the thing to do if you needed levels in Topher. But it was Crabcakes who told me that, like, no, you should go to Topher 3. That's where the experience is that you want. The Gasties, the Badmin packs, the fighters, and then the worms are like, you know, within reach too. Like they're not on net floor, but it's better XP per step kind of thing.
And like I was always taught that, you know, the waters were some of the best ones. Nagas and waters, great grind.
Yeah, Naga and water is
one of the top 10s.
Yep, one of the highest XP per fights you can take. If you've got the resources to take it down. If you got Ice 3, Lightning 3, Nuke Fade, like, and you can blow through that, that is the best party grind that you can do. I think best solo grind, I mean, we're talking about B-side tiles now.
Right.
I think best solo grind for me is, well, any one that you can take on with just a single Light Warrior, but Double Fighter, the 3-eye fight, like those come to mind. Double Fighters, 3 eyes, sandworms, the blue stake.
I've always had a problems with the black belt grind. Like if I get told I see the black belt grind, I'm like, well, you might as well just figure I've lost this one. But like my grind has always, for some reason, been Gur Sharks. I don't know why, but that's just what I can survive on, and it's always been enough.
Gur Sharks with big eyes is really good. Gur Sharks with Wissa Hags is a little scarier. But the Gur Sharks, they in my experience, they typically roll too high. Like when they're little and they got like 300 HP, like, okay, we can make this work. Min, onto Kraken 2. We still have our life caster up. We're waiting and swinging. I would love to see he's just swinging, but we at least move the Vorpal onto the Knight. He doesn't have the 40 strength that the Red Wizard had, but it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment. So, because there goes our life caster. So we're in man mode time. So I don't see a path to victory here for Min with a solo Knight without a defense sword or power gauntlet. Unfortunately, like we need crit loops at this point, and yeah, it's basically a 3 in 256 chance to set up a crit loop, and we got ambushed by the we got ambushed into a blue screen, but and He's back in it. So I think Min is just waiting for the luck to turn. Like, eventually, like, things have to go our way, right?
Right. And I mean, that's all you can really do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he could go grind, but he's kind of doing a grind now, so.
It's a different kind of grind because we're not keeping any of the XP that we're getting when we come down here. Like, that's the big difference here. And we're making that silver axe work for infinite tape. It's fascinating to me. Put that bait sword on infinite tape, please. Oh. Are you a seafood guy, Forsaken?
I am a sucker for shrimp and lobster and crab, scallops.
Yeah.
And trying to think if there's anything in the sea that I don't eat.
The only thing I don't really mess with.
Out of a can.
Yeah, the only thing I have an aversion to, and it's a textural thing, are oysters. If they're fried, it's different, but like raw oysters, it's could be a little off-putting.
I've learned it's all on how you deal with them. Because you take a grill, you light a fire underneath it, you take your oysters, you throw them on top, you throw a burlap sack that came in full of water right on top of it. You let those cook. You take the other half of your oysters, you shuck them, you hit them with hot sauce, tequila, and you slurp them, and after about 4 oysters, you don't remember what they taste like anymore.
That doesn't sound like a good time for me.
Amazing time. Assuming you don't have more than like 100 oysters.
Yeah, to each their own. That's all I got to say about that. Kraken 2 is just playing with his food, but literally playing with it. Like, the white mage is still alive. Kraken forgot that he had a job to do, and it's eliminate white casters. But we're through Kraken 2 with a life caster that we never bought life 2 on because provoke it's just too far to get to. I'm kidding. I don't want to. We're tunnel visioned on our runners, so life 2 could be a bit of a. I think adjusting spells for infinite tape would be the next adjustment beyond levels.
Right? I mean, at this point, he knows he needs a life caster.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, life 1, he might have forgotten where life 2 was. It is a possibility.
All he has to do is look at his Red Mage's spell book. It's right there, you know?
But it is one of those things, like, why didn't he pick it up in the beginning, too? Was it just something that slipped his mind? Did he not have enough gold?
Yeah. I'm trying not to get distracted by this other race getting set up, and I see the Red Mage's got Sage, and I'm so mad. I never get Sage Red Mage. He's gonna get 3 of them. Don't bring it to us. Okay. Infinite Tape through Tia 2. I didn't see how he did it. It was like it seemed very fast, but this is our first look at Chaos. Everybody his first look though, right?
His first look, second look at Chaos. Maybe got Chaos once before and hasn't been back since.
Yeah, so defense sword's out, Invis 2 is out. I'm assuming a second Invis 2 is out, and we've got fast.
And full party.
Fast lands. Invis 2 goes off. Invis 2 goes off.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to see a defense sword hit.
Defense sword goes off, so we are at full evasion on the knight. We are coming out with more evasion and going to start tempering that silver axe wielding knight. I love it. I love it. I love it.
This is the plucky attitude you need to get through Chaos.
Question from chat, where the timers go? They got lost in the sausage. We're here in a place where time doesn't exist. We are fighting chaos.
Yes, we are at 1 hour and 57 minutes and somewhere between 57 and 58 minutes as right now.
Yeah, because we started just a little after 8 p.m. Eastern, and there's the Fog 2's coming out. I don't hate it. It's something
better to get everything.
It's something to do. Tempers, Lightning 3, and with how hard that hit that night is not wearing the ribbon. That is a problem. Cast wall if you got it. Build a wall around that knight. You need to protect him. You've dumped all of your tempers into him. There is a very sad time coming if we lose that knight. We're still good HP wise.
And it is over.
Yeah. Zap comes out, Bane comes out, bad times could come out. I wish I could see, as long as we keep that HP over 300, Quad X isn't an issue. But we're just dumping. We saved all of our tempers for this. I just want to see one damage roll. 4 hits, 638. That is the kind of damage you want to see it. And there's a nuke. Puts the knight and the red mage on a knee. We need to cure 4 as soon as possible. We have 2 shots. Cure 4 is queued. Another swing. 5 hit, 628. Fire 3 comes out before the cure 4.
But he still has a chance. He is going swing. This is a whole hand swing type of situation. Go.
And there's the nuke. Oh, you hate to see it. And all right, infinitetape is back in. Min is on to Tia 2.
He go out and save before he made his dive to save all that experience that he had before. I know he's been doing a walk and grind down there, and he still seems to be pretty high in hit points, so.
Could be. I was watching Infinitetape. Yeah, I love that he's swinging that Bane Sword. Cure 4 goes out. I don't think so. No, he doesn't. He's the same level he's always been, because he's at 597 on that knight at max HP. And there's the zap. Life 2 survives. Our Life 2 caster. 3
hits. Get Tia down, he'll be alright.
There's the nuke. Alright, we're still alive. Still got a shot. Cure 4 targeted for the red wizard, so we're now tempering ourselves. I mean,
his red wizard has a decent weapon on him, doesn't it?
It was using the 4. That's a punch wipe right there. 3 hits for 351. Without evasion, Min is in trouble.
Mm-hmm. So both of our runners are starting their dive all over again. Oh, I am suddenly hungry thinking about snacks.
You're welcome. I mean, reach out to Lord Fizzlebeef for support. He's usually my partner in these food-based conversations.
Look, I've got a bag of the popcorn chips that are phenomenal, and I really want to eat them, but I know I have to meet myself if I do.
I had some almonds. I had New Year, trying to be a little healthier, so my almonds and a big sumo mandarin. That was my late night snack. Not as exciting as mozzarella sticks or pretzels, but I mean, I want all that stuff, but...
No, I got surgery not next week, but the week after, so I am packing on some fat to be nice and warm and comfy for it.
All right, Infinitetape. Picking everybody back up. Min onto the Lich 2 floor. So, the fascinating thing here is Min knows about the black belt, knows about the eye grind, and has locked in to this dive. There hasn't we've been in tow for over an hour, and there hasn't been a pivot. So like Min is too focused right now.
He is, because at this point, 30 minutes in, I probably would have swapped for the black belt. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's a long walk to get through Earth, but is it longer than a Topher dive to fail? You know.
See, and I don't think it is. I think it would be well worth it because even if he leaves right now, goes and gets it, and comes back, he might lose what? 2 dives in Topher?
Yeah. This is and Mr. Ibis in chat has pointed out this is the sunk cost fallacy. Like, we put too much time in, we can't leave, and it's just like that's not the that's not the takeaway lesson here. It's like
never the mindset you want to have. You want to always know that you can leave.
I think if you're infinite tape and you have the dive where you get to chaos and you're chugging like 600 damage into him and you're like probably one swing away, I get the second dive immediately. I understand that. Because that's just combat RNG doing combat RNG things. Like, we know that Infinite Tape's toolkit can get through. It's just turn order didn't benefit him in that last fight.
Right.
For Minh, it's just it's 100%. You hate to see it. It's just like the runner's locked in, and you want to pull from to pivot. It feels bad to leave Topher to go look for a grind or look for a better solution. The problem is Infinite Tape doesn't know where any of that stuff is. He knows where the black belt is, but he doesn't know where the grind is. He doesn't know where the gear is. Minh has the good gear and knows that the black belt exists, and that eye tile is the freest eye tile. That, not the freest he could find, but it's with the Phantom there to set it up. It's pretty good. So it's not great, but every time Infinite Tape goes to Cure 4 in the menu, I think where he's about to lose to the exit boss. The fact that he has Cure 4 after exit does nothing for my anxiety. Oh, look, we got stream sync. If you didn't think we had a race, this is proof of the puddings right here. We're about to have a double Kraken 2 fight. And just, you get that side-by-side comparison of just the HP level difference on the Black Wizard alone. And
yeah, you can seriously see who's put a little bit more effort in. Oop.
Yeah, that's the right party to take. If you're ever given Red Mage Sages and one is forced, that's the party to take. I know the next commentary team's going to come in and talk all about that, but that's 100% the right party to take. You see Iker up there with that white mage. You don't need that white mage. That red mage is a white mage that can wear red mage stuff. Sages, for those that aren't aware, is a white mage and black mage smushed together. So it's the red mage, but without spell slot restrictions. And they can even evolve into the wizard versions of those classes when they promote. So there's never a reason not to take 3 sages. And if they had a bonus to like their HP or strength or legendary swords or something like that too, like, yeah, let's just bring 4 red mages. We can do this. Anything's possible.
I might take a thief and 3 red mages, or fighter thief and 2 red mages, but
no, I think fighter.
As I said earlier in this stream, thief is still one of my go-tos. Even though Fizzle has tried to beat that out of me.
Thieves are fine. You don't need to justify taking a thief, especially on these flags. As Infinite Tape once more through Kraken 2, Minh is on to Tia 2, and we are hoping that we can out-damage the punch machine that is Tia 2, and already not looking good. 4 hits, 112. We gotta go. I wouldn't hate an all Brack strats here. Just, you got 3 Brack casters, just let them rip. 7% chance. You're rolling 3 dice a turn, and every turn, like, it feels like it might be a better strategy here for Minh, where Infinite Tape with the evasion resources can do a more traditional Tia 2 fight where we do some defensive buffing, some offensive buffing, and we just let damage do its thing. Just please put that Bane Sword on the knight, it's better than a silver axe +1. I promise. You're only getting those damage numbers from the axe because your knight has a strength bonus. I promise. You'll get those same numbers from the paint sword with enough tempers. But we're through, and Minh lost the DPS race on the knight, and there's the nuke to... We're still in an okay spot if we get the damage. Brack comes out. No, it didn't work. Lightning 2 comes out.
2 bracks at this point. Oh, I see it. Weird keyboards, flashing lights.
And Fighter Rainbow is fine. I mean, it's no Fighter Triple Red with Sage class. As Minh once more, hey, he's looking at weapon stats.
Come on.
Yes,
go for the man.
A Scimitar 5 is better than a Silver Axe Plus.
Yeah,
that's fine. Okay, we're swinging a sword. Swords have critical hit chance. Axes do not. They do not have. And bottom left there, you can see Channing preparing his stream. He's the man responsible for this seed. All right. I'm assuming we're fasting. I see a fast go out. I see Invis 2 go out. I see Invis 2 go out.
I see the defense side.
I see Chaos did something to himself. I think it might have been fast. Or something. Something Chaos did something.
We've seen that in spell circle so far, yeah.
And big shout out to Dark Moon for getting this together. This is a lot of sausage being made, and I can't wait for breakfast tomorrow. I'm not having sausage.
Did you see Rich's comment in chat? Rich said, "Hey, Chaos, Cape wants to ask you a question."
Don't pay attention to this stuff. Don't encourage that behavior. Fog 2 comes out. So in this situation where we're approaching evasion cap, Fog 2's value is in that if Chaos crits us through max evade, it might do less damage. It's not guaranteed to, but it might if you get enough of them. All right, Fire 2.
That might be the chance of surviving or dying at this point.
4 hits, 119 from a sword. I saw green sparkles, and Viz 2 coming out, and that's probably pretty close to evasion cap for the party.
Yeah.
Time to dump tempers, and I would throw. We're out of heal 2s. I would say I'd start preventative heal 2s to keep everybody above that nuclear threshold. I don't think we saw Chaos with nuclear per se, but it's a good damage threshold to be above. 6 hits, 375. We gotta be getting close. More tempers. I think once we run out of tempers, if we've got nukes, throw those nukes. 6 hits, 698. Tempers, fogs, and we gotta watch out for that nuke. Without any sort of healing going out, everyone's susceptible. The knight will survive a nuke roll, but depending on if it rolls up, like, he could only have 24 HP. But he swung and missed. 5 hits, 831. This Chaos has got to be on the ropes.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, with that many tempers on your fighter, I probably would switch to Brack on everybody else and just pray.
I mean, there's still tempers to go. I mean, we want to see how hard this Scimitar can hit. 3 hits for damage. We still got more temper cast to go, so let's just keep. This is a cathartic, therapeutic exercise. Cast. Oh, maybe we'll hold on to the. Yeah, I would say cast Fade with the white wizard, but there it is. There it is. Get the GG's in chat. Infinite tape. Has broken the infinite time loop. We are through Topher. This has been a remarkable run, and get those GG's in chat for Minh too. Like, he's been up against it this entire time, and I'm sure has not had a good time with this seed. So,
you know, the only sad thing is I wish we had a little bit more time, because I would love to get both of them inside here and talk to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them if they want to come in real quick, just to like a quick interview.
Okay, let's see if we can get him in the room.
Yeah, I'm asking in the race room. All right. All right, so as we wait to see if they want to join us, Infinite Tape said sure, so we'll get him in here. Min might have opted out, which I would not blame him. Min, if you're out there watching or listening, you're watching the playback of this, I'm sorry that happened.
Official. You had a good run though, man.
Thank you, Jesus the Frog. The official Racetown time was 2 hours, 10 minutes, 8 seconds, and Min promptly forfeit. Understandably so. Understandably so. There is no shame in giving up on a seed that is clearly given up on you.
And he put in a valiant effort. He tried multiple things. I wish we could have seen him pivot and possibly go to another area, rethink his strategy, but he bashed his head against that rock and he got closer and closer each time. But I can understand the tilt at this point has to be pretty high.
Yeah, and I think the 10-minute delay is not enough time to cool down from a seed like that. We are joined in the booth by Infinite Tape, the marathon survivor of that seed. You may be muted, Infinite Tape, if you're trying to speak, but GG's, man, that was I feel so sorry for you. Like, that just felt pain.
That was rough entirely, but dude, you had the perseverance, you pushed forward, none but respect.
Yeah.
Nope.
We lost. Come back here.
Might be having some technical difficulties.
Okay. It says that you're muted in Discord, so I might just have to unmute, but that was, so as Infinite Tape gets the audio, can you hear us? Can you hear us now? How about now?
Infinite, are you there?
Hello? Hello?
I'd be unmuted.
While Infinite Tape gets his audio set up, I do want to let folks know to not go anywhere. This race is about to happen. This 4-way race between Krellin and Iker and Softnum and Flurry 14 is going to kick off here very soon, I think. And so stick around, watch that. Saracen, Mr. Ibis, going to be coming in and doing the thing. Infinite, can you hear us? Hello?
Hey. Hello?
Oh. Hello? I don't think it's going to work. Of course, Saracen, Mr. Ibis, there are commentators coming in. Come on in. I'll drag you guys. Don't make me I'm pulling you guys in here. Hello.
Oh, hi. Hello.
So
we just had a hell of a race. So I am very excited to see what this 1v1v1v1 looks like coming up here next. So.
And Infinite Tape is letting us know in the Racetown room that he can't get his voice to work. But Infinite Tape, for your first restreamed race, this was a brutal slog of a Topher. The things that I liked to see, I liked that you pivoted and got levels. That was a heads-up play.
Yes.
It was definitely the difference maker between yours and Min's Topher attempts.
Only suggestion we both have is Bane Sword is better than the Silver Knife.
Or the Silver Axe.
Silver Axe.
Yeah, Bane Sword +3 is pretty good. I don't know if its crit was better than the Scimitar +5. I think it's probably about the same, but the damage is probably going to be better on that Bane Sword +3. But, you know, you pivoted at the victory battle, so that was grateful to see that. If you watch this back, apart from the snack talk, before the seed got too mean, there I think you'll pick out some. Try to give you some pointers. Talk to chat. Got some advice from them too. So, best of luck in your next race, Infinite Tape. And yeah, freaking Wormek, he says in the Racetown room. Yeah, that was unfortunate to see like the 3 blown up dives that just like feel so deflating when those things happen. But best of luck. I don't want to hold up the next race or broadcast, but Infinite Tape, GG's, man, you earned that victory, and we'll catch you next time. Forsaken, you got any final thoughts you want to share before you just stay in the booth for the next race?
Honestly, both of our runners did great. Definitely not a kind seed, but they both did their best to pull through it. Congratulations to Infinite. You did great. Your first seed is always the hardest when restreaming, but dude, you pulled a great one. I'd like to thank, well, you for being here in the box with me and talking and everything else, and our lovely snack conversations. And I want to thank our restreamer tonight, and I want to thank our tracker. You guys, thank you for everything. Without you, I'd probably be sitting here alone, quiet, not sure what to say.
All good, brother. Well, y'all have a good night. Saracen, Mr. Ibis, the stage is yours. Hopefully this seat is kinder to our runners than what just happened.
I certainly hope so, because I don't know if I can stay up and hype for that long. I know, you're like already falling asleep, old man Clarb here. So right. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Get some rest. Everybody.